welcome to my channel. PG Senpai here. Today I am going to be recreating the Winx Club Fairies as Sims. I've been so excited to finally get this creative sim video done for you guys. I have so many more creative sim video ideas that you guys have requested on my last video, which before I get started, I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone who has been supporting me over the last few weeks. I have gained over 2,000 more subscribers than what my short-term goal was before the end of the year, which was 1,500 subs. So I just want to thank everyone who has been supporting me thus far and those who supported me before then. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I hope you guys enjoy. I hope we can grow together, and let's see if we can't reach 2,000 subs before the end of the year. So I'm starting with Flora just because she is my favorite character of all of the Winx Club members, and I really do resonate with the type of fairy she is. I feel like if I was a fairy, I would be a nature fairy or like a plant fairy. So I read up on each fairy, and I'm excited to share what I found. So starting with Flora. Flora is the fairy of nature, of course. She hails from Lymphia, where she currently acts as its guardian fairy. The team usually relies on her for potions and magic advice. Flora is one of the founding members of the Winx Club, being the third Winx girl introduced after Bloom and Stella. And she's an alumni at the Alphia College for Fairies. So Flora is shown to be very calm, soft-spoken, caring, shy, and genuine. She loves plants and vegetation of all kinds. Being interested in experimenting with their plants, Flora became the potion master for the group, who specializes in brewing and creating remedies and medicines from the uses of her magical plants. Due to her gentle and caring personality, Flora is strongly connected to nature and loves helping people. She is shown to have a sensitive personality to the point where she would instinctively care for her friends as well as her plants if they are ever in distress. Flora is the most mature of the Winx, as she possesses a deep sense of love, peace, happiness, and tranquility. However, it is shown that Flora has an insecure side to her personality, as she has problems believing in herself at times. Her insecurity would sometimes cause her to hide most of her feelings to the point where she would have problems expressing them. Flora is one of the most diligent students at Alphia and is cautious of her actions. Although she has a kind-hearted side, she sometimes gets very angry at her enemies, which can cause her to act quickly and show a more aggressive side of herself. I feel like Flora is like the equivalent to Fluttershy in My Little Pony, which I would absolutely love to do the Equestria girls in My Little Ponies once I get the horseback, but that's another story. Let's see. Her birthday is March 1st. Her favorite color is pink. Her best friend is Aisha, and her favorite movies are romantic movies, and her favorite music genre is reggae. That's really weird. That's a weird combination, but that's her favorite music apparently. And then moving on to Stella. Stella is the crown princess and the fairy of the sun and moon, or the fairy of the shining sun. She is a creative, skilled artist. Stella is Solaria's guardian fairy, as well as the sole heiress to the Solarian royal throne, signified by her status as keeper of the royal family ring. She is one of the founding members of the Winx Club and is also an alumni of the Alphia College for Fairies. Though immature and even selfish and bossy at times, Stella cares for her fellow Winx and sees herself responsible for them. Although Stella is usually a proud and self-centered girl, she also cares deeply about her friends and family. She would stick to the people she loves and do anything to keep them safe. Stella is not always seen wearing a smile on her face, but she does crack jokes to cheer her friends up when they're sad. Essentially, Stella has a cheerful and optimistic personality. Besides that, she is obsessed with fashion. Stella often gives advice to people in Alphia, but the advice is often not taken well. I feel like she does this to people, like go up to them and tell them their outfit's not cute or something, or she gives them fashion advice and they didn't ask for it. I feel like she would do something like that. The most intuitive of all the members, Stella likes to matchmake, but has often had problems with understanding why her friends don't always like getting set up. She can be rather oblivious at times. She uses her magic for anything, which if I was a fairy, I'd use my magic for anything too. But she mostly wants to help her friends, as deep inside, she is a generous and helpful girl. Although she might disagree with her friends, Stella is very supportive and protective and will not hesitate to help them. She learns to accept that love and friendship are far more important than royalty, fashion, and shopping. Sometimes she hides her true personality because of her upbringing. In short, her cheerful exterior masks great sorrow. That's quite deep. I feel like a lot of these characters have quite a lot of depth to them. It seems like without the fairy aspect, they could be real people. And sometimes their personalities remind me a little bit of myself. Not the sorrow part, like I'm not sad or anything and faking a smile. But a few of the other personalities, which you guys will hear later or in a little bit, I resonate a little bit with those personalities as well. I really struggled with Stella's outfit because she wears like a shorts outfit and I couldn't find any shorts in my repertoire. As you guys can see, I feel like I always have something that doesn't quite match the personality or the character's design. So I feel like I have to go find new custom content, and most of the time I can always make do with something else. Like I did here, I found this orange dress and it was a little bit see-through, so instead of giving her a bra that was gonna stick out, I gave her like an orange tank top underneath, and it doesn't look perfect, but it looks good enough, and it made her a little more modest. But other than that, Stella came out really good. I love these ponytails by Samandi. Samandi makes the best long hairs, and there's another creator that I can't think of right now, but I'm gonna download all of their long hairs just for my long hair characters like this. But this is how she came out. I hope you guys like her. Let me know down in the comments who your favorite character was. Also, if you guys are enjoying, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment down below what you thought of the Create a Sim. And you can leave me suggestions on what videos you guys would like to see. I'm always interested to know what you guys are looking for. But please make sure you're subscribed, because it would help me out a lot to be able to continue making you guys videos. And eventually we'll be able to make every request happen in no time. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing a video quicker than I will probably get it out, you can head to my Patreon. I have some tiers set up on there for sim requests and Create a Sim video requests, and I can also tag you guys in the videos and also put your username on the screen, your comment on the screen, if you guys would like for me to do that on my Create a Sim videos, and it would also help me out. But that's only if you guys want to support me in that way. Everything will be linked in the description as always. Also, the custom content will also be linked in the description. All right, and moving on to Aisha or Layla. This was also a requested Create a Sim, but I decided to just do all of the fairies in one so that I don't have to separate everybody into their own Create a Sim video. But Aisha is the Fairy of Waves. She is the crown princess of Andros as well as its garden fairy. Aisha joins the Winx Club as its 6th member in the 2nd season and is an alumni of the Althea College for Fairies. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that Aisha was the last character to be introduced. I'm not surprised, but I was not aware until I started making these sims. But anyway, she is self-confident and talented, who excels at dancing and swimming. Of course. She is extremely opinionated and open-minded. She is intuitive, and when asked to, gives practical and pragmatic advice. She is also a talented dancer, athlete, and speaks multiple languages. The Pixies trust her, and because of that, Aisha is one of the few people who know of the location of the Pixie Village. Aisha gives practical advice and always provides a shoulder to cry on. However, besides the other girls, she might even be the most sensitive of the crew. She has also been shown to be rather stubborn and impatient, which can get her into trouble by making her hold grudges and jump to conclusions. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not surprised by any of this for her character, but I feel like the dancing and the athlete part could have been left out, but that's just me. Also, when she was first introduced, she came off as antisocial because of her isolated upbringing and really didn't have that many friends, so that is understandable. And throughout the seasons, she lost her tomboyish side, possibly due to her opening up to the Winx and Naboo. I'm not sure who that is, but yet she still loves sports and is determined and energetic. And moving on to the next character, we have Techna. So I think Techna was my favorite fairy that I made, but again, Flora is still my favorite Winx character or Winx fairy. So Techna is the fairy of technology, obvi. She hails from Zenith and currently acts as its guardian fairy. She is one of the founding members of the Winx Club, being the 4th Winx girl introduced after Bloom, Stella, Flora, and is an alumni of the Althea College for Fairies. Techna is often relied on as the group's tactician and strategist thanks to her high IQ and ability to keep a cool, rational head even in times of high stress. Also, don't come for me, I know I spelled her name wrong, okay? I'm not perfect. So a little bit about Techna. She is extremely smart with an IQ of 150 and loves technology. She gets engrossed in technology, and her enthusiasm for sameness can be irritating. By who, I'm not sure. The wiki did not let me know who found it irritating. She is self-confident and is a perfectionist. She's always practical and logical, sometimes to a fault. She has trouble expressing her emotions and bases the majority of her decisions on pure logic. In the 2nd and 3rd season, she gets over that and is more open and friendly toward her friends. She is selfless and nice to them. She truly cares about them, even if she cannot always show it through emotions. She develops emotionally through the series and eventually experiences crying, stating that she never cried before. Y'all, I'm a crybaby. Sometimes I cry a lot, sometimes I don't cry at all. But recently, I haven't been crying at all, or not that much at all, but I used to cry so much. Anyway, in season 3, she decides to give up her emotions and love to acquire the water stars needed to defeat Valtar. But Arcadia gives her back her emotions and love, which is very nice of them, whoever that is. She loves science, experimenting in her spare time by creating numerous Techna devices. She also has a photographic memory. I wish I did. It would be very helpful couple. She loves computers and video games. Techna also enjoys playing sports and being active. This is how she came out, and I hope you guys like her design, her look. Moving on to Musa. So Musa is the fairy of music. She hails from Melody and currently acts as his guardian fairy. I probably say garden on the other one. I don't know. Musa is a skilled singer and musician. She is one of the founding members of the Winx Club, being the 5th girl introduced after Bloom, Stella, Flora, and Techna. She is also an alumni of the Alpha College of Fairies. Okay, I said that like 12 times already. She loves music, dancing and singing, playing all instruments, but her favorite is the concert flute, which is the first instrument she ever learned to play. Which, oh my god, me and Musa have a lot in common because I love music, all types of music, or most types, and the first instrument I learned to play in middle school was the flute. I also played a little bit of the piccolo, but it was so hard for me. Okay, so she usually plays amazing music, but plays best when she is alone by herself in Althea in a quiet spot. Despite being the most tomboyish of the Winx, she is perhaps the most emotionally vulnerable, and she balances this by putting up a tough front. Surprisingly, she gets the best grades of her friends, despite Techna being the brain of the group. Her emotional weakness is a result of her mother's death and her father being far away. That is tough. She is also a bit of a loner, though over time, she becomes more open and closely bonded to the rest of her friends. She also loses more of her tomboyish attitudes and appearance over time. She has a strong will and personality. She can be judgmental and have preconceived notions about people regarding their past, which can make her pretty distrusting. I absolutely did not know that Winx characters had such a mature vibe to them. I don't know why, but I felt like it was still more of a, we love shopping, like brats and stuff like that. But this has a lot more than what I thought it would to it. And same thing for Musa. I really did struggle to figure out what to put her in, but these boots by Madeline, almost all the characters wore the same boots, but they came out great. And last but absolutely not least, we have Bloom. And I did Bloom last because, unbeknownst to me, I downloaded her outfit after Halloween or like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know who it was for. Like, it looked like a cute costume, so I downloaded it. I was like, Bloom. It looks familiar too, but I didn't know where it was coming from, or like I couldn't put my finger on it. But yeah, I downloaded that, and then I found out there was only 2 swatches because of Bloom and her other form, Dark Bloom. Bloom is a fairy of the Dragon Flame, the second princess of Domino and its guardian fairy. She's one of the founding members of the Winx Club and is also an alumni of the Alpha College for Fairies. So she started off as an insecure girl at the beginning of the series because of her ignorance of her true origins and her strange yet surprisingly potent powers. Later on, as she learned more about magic and herself, she grew increasingly curious about her past and whom her biological parents were. An escapist by nature, she has a tendency to run away when things get too hard or confusing for her, and can also be impatient and stubborn with a short temper. Bloom was also impulsive at times, which led to some very bad experiences for both her and her friends. Her greatest strength and her greatest weakness were her status as the guardian of the Dragon's Flame. While the Dragon Flame made her arguably the most powerful fairy in the magic dimension, it also consistently drew numerous enemies to her. Additionally, she has been known to make some selfish decisions. Despite her flaws, Bloom still has a heart of gold. She cares for all her friends, allies, and families, and is always willing to help fight for a good cause. She has shown herself to be selfless, caring, brave, and a true capable leader. She is tough when needed to be and always lends a helping hand to people in need. Dark Bloom, on the other hand, is very negative. She does very bad deeds and obeys Lord Darkar loyally. In this form, she's the complete opposite of herself. She becomes heartless, abusive, mean, selfish, manipulative, so basically the worst person ever. So that is the end of this Creative Sim video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!